tonight, Queensland's big wet moves west. Some towns facing their worst flooding in more than 60 years.
Wind compounds rain in the southeast as the damage bill nears $1 billion.
Farmers flooded in with water still rising in the Lockyer Valley.
And the skipper snaps as England turns up the pressure on day 2 of the Ashes.
Ricky Ponting has blown his top there with the umpires.
This is 7 News with Patrick Condren and Talitha Cummins.
Good evening. Queensland's flood crisis has intensified with the damage bill to roads and infrastructure heading towards $1 billion. Tonight we'll have coverage from our reporters around the state with floods out west, damage across the southeast and the clean-up in the north.
We begin in the west, where flooding in some towns is the worst in more than 60 years. Chinchilla has been hit hard and water is still rising. Residents have been evacuated from Theodore. Reporter Michael Scanlon is with some of the hundreds of stranded drivers. And Michael, roads seem to be cut all over.
Yes, Pat, right across Queensland, drivers are being forced to stop and wait.
Across the southeast, Brisbane, Ipswich and the Gold Coast have been lashed by torrential rain. In Logan, homes were also hit by violent and destructive winds.
Now we cross live to reporter Amanda Abate, who's in Surfers Paradise. Amanda, how are things down there?
Very wet, Pat. Since yesterday morning, the Gold Coast has been drenched by more than 150 millimetres of rain.
Good advice. Amanda Abate on the Gold Coast, thank you.
Well, not long ago, the Lockyer Valley was in drought. Tonight, it's soaked with farms isolated by the deluge. Locals say some creeks have risen even higher than the 1974 floods.
Angie joins us with the latest, and all eyes are now on a new system coming in from the south.
Patrick, it's a southerly change that's been moving up from New South Wales for a couple of days. It crossed the Queensland border this afternoon. Now, the system does have the potential to drive strong winds and showers through Brisbane tonight. The rain won't be as heavy as what we've had, but with the ground already saturated, the next concern is just how much more can the southeast take. It will mean rain periods for the next couple of days. By the end of the week, it will have moved north, taking most of this rain with it. And I'll have the full details shortly.
Thanks, Angie. Well, in the far north, the Bruce Highway has reopened and communities are mopping up after the Herbert burst its banks early this morning. Erin Edwards has spent the day at Ingham. Erin, the worst seems to have passed up there.
Talitha, where I am standing now was knee-deep underwater this time yesterday. The water is receding almost as quickly as it rose. Around Ingham, they've spent the day cleaning up. Further east, homes at Cordelia were flooded when the Herbert burst its banks at 1 this morning.
Thank you, Erin Edwards, there in Ingham.
New South Wales hasn't escaped the deluge. Towns across central and northeastern parts of the state are on flood alert after heavy rain over the weekend. Eugowra, west of Orange, is one of the worst hit. 20 homes have been evacuated after the local creek peaked at 9.3 metres this afternoon. The flood will be a costly blow to farmers.
In other news tonight, Vodafone threatened with legal action by furious customers.
Thousands of flights cancelled as a blizzard hits the US.
And the original Playboy settling down.
You're with 7 News. A runaway yacht sent sparks flying as it ran into power lines on the Gold Coast.
And nothing like acting your age, Ben.
Yes, Talitha, you should try telling that to the Australian captain. It's been another long day at the MCG as the Poms pound Ponting's men, forcing a test tantrum. Plus, 2 men overboard, 2 injured. It's a wild ride to Hobart. Ricky Ponting captaincy is under increased scrutiny tonight after an ugly run-in with umpires compounded Australia's fading Ashes hopes. Peter Siddle tried to keep the series alive, but both he and a petulant Ponting could be punished, erupting over a decision that went against them. I'd take that weather any day over the Sydney-Hobart one, Patrick.
Absolutely. Thanks, Benny. The weather's next. And Angie, when is this rain going to end?
Well, Patrick, it's been a while since we've been able to say this, but there is an end in sight. I'll have the details after the break. Hello. Well, a rain depression left over by ex-tropical cyclone Tasha has caused flooding on the Central Highlands and southeast. Our heaviest rainfall was 274 millimetres at Carnarvon Station in the state centre. It's 22 degrees in the city right now. Humidity is 89%. Well, let's have a look at where that rain fell today, and most of the southeast was very wet. The Gold Coast had 112 millimetres. Well, Brisbane reached a top of 27 degrees today. There wasn't much difference across the southeast, 26 in Ipswich and on both the Gold and Sunshine coasts. Slightly cooler on the Bayside, 25 degrees. Well, on the satellite, most of the state is still covered in a thick cloud band. What's left of ex-tropical cyclone Tasha has weakened off though, and what we can see here is a southerly change that's coming in from New South Wales. Now that's going to bring strong winds and more showers tonight. By tomorrow, they'll drop back slightly. Tomorrow around the country, it'll be sunny in Perth, fine in Adelaide and Hobart, early showers for Sydney, sunny in Melbourne and monsoonal storms in Darwin. Back in Queensland now for our northern centres, there'll be showers and 31 degrees in Cairns, the chance of a thunderstorm for Townsville. It will be wet and hot in Mackay. Further south, there'll be rain for Rockhampton and Bundaberg, showers in Longreach and Mount Isa and more wet weather for Toowoomba. Well, it won't be much of a day out on the water. Expect southeasterly winds at 20 to 30 knots, seas to 1.1 metres with rain at times. A look at Brisbane tomorrow, and that rain will start to clear to afternoon showers, clouds still keeping temperatures down to 25 degrees. Now the heavy rain will start to clear out for the rest of the southeast as well. A few showers on the Gold and Sunshine coasts, tops of 25. In Ipswich, some afternoon showers, also a top of 25. A look at the week ahead now. There'll be showers on Wednesday and Thursday, warming up to 28 degrees on Friday. The first sign of sunshine will be Saturday and Sunday, and showers again for Monday. Now here's Liz with the latest on the beaches.
It was another wet morning on the coast, but there were small waves keeping surfers busy.
Thanks, Liz, and that's the news to now.
Take care on our wet roads. From all the team, have a very good night.
Good night.